A man named Marvin is walking home after a late-night event, around 12 a.m., somewhere in Santa Cruz. As he records the street, showing how strangely bright and empty everything looks at that hour, something suddenly catches him completely off guard.
¿Qué onda, amigos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bueno, quería compartir con ustedes cómo se ve Santa Cruz Porrillo a las 12 de la noche. Comentarles que ahorita vengo yo de una cobertura de un trabajo y quería mostrarles acá un video de cómo se ve Santa Cruz en la noche. Escucho algo ahí feo. Un caballo escucho por aquí. Un caballo. Escuchan. Aquí lo escucho ahora. Aquí asustan en Santa Cruz. Aquí asustan en Santa Cruz, Vuela, ya me voy mejor para la otra. Pues señores, que asustan en Santa Cruz, asustan en Santa Cruz. No salgan. Bueno, cuya. Oigan, que asustan. Oigan los chuchos.
As Marvin keeps walking down the road, a strange sound suddenly breaks the silence. Something that sounds eerily like horse hooves, striking the pavement. And whatever is making that sound seems to be getting closer. But when he turns the camera and scans the street, there is nothing there. No person, no horse, no clear source for the sound at all. And then, just as the noise grows even louder, the dogs in the area begin howling and barking all at once, as if they are reacting to something Marvin cannot see. Marvin still has no real explanation for what happened that night. But what do you think was following him through that empty street? Let me know. An urban explorer steps into an abandoned house expecting the usual silence, decay, and that dead stillness that clings to places forgotten for years. But what his camera captures inside turns the entire experience into something far more disturbing than he ever expected.
¿Hola? ¿Qué? Niño, ¿qué chucha fue?
Inside the house, he spots what appears to be a child moving around, casually playing with a ball. And that alone is deeply unsettling, because a moment like that should not exist in a place showing no signs of life, no electricity, no activity, no evidence that anyone has been living there at all. And even if you set the paranormal aside for a second, the situation is still horrifying on its own, because seeing a child inside a deserted house immediately raises questions with no easy answers. Where did the child come from? How are they surviving there? And why are they alone, inside a structure that looks completely abandoned? Naturally, the explorer begins searching the area, checking rooms, corners, and every place the child could have gone. But there is nothing there. No trace. No explanation. And then, after leaving the house, something appears again.
No, que yo sepa nadie tiene llave, si está abandonado.
¿Esa silla estaba ahí?
No me di cuenta de la silla, gente. No, si hemos bajado y no había ni una silla.
¡Ay, Alexito! ¡Uy, qué verga era eso! ¡Uy, mano! ¡Uy! Hermano, había una cabeza peluda. Ten cuidado. Déjalo aquí, a ver, déjalo aquí de nuevo. Déjalo ahí. Había una cabeza peluda allá, Alexito. Hola, buenas noches. Buenas noches. ¿Hay alguien aquí? Alexito, ¿aquí cuidan?
This time, a figure briefly peeks out. Only part of it is visible, but there is no mistaking that something is there. And what makes this entire encounter even more disturbing is the condition of the street itself. It seems that several houses in that area have been abandoned, each one empty, each one silent, but maybe not completely without presence. At that point, it stops feeling like one isolated, creepy moment and starts feeling like a pattern, almost as if every house on that street is holding on to its own unexplained secret, something hidden just out of sight, but close enough to be noticed. And when you look at it that way, it becomes easier to understand why no one lives there anymore. Because even without clear answers, the atmosphere alone feels wrong enough to drive people away. The explorer says he plans to contact former residents, hoping to uncover what may have happened inside those homes and whether there is some dark history behind what he experienced. But for now, the footage leaves behind more questions than answers. Was that really a child? Or was it something else? Something using the image of one to seem less threatening? And if every abandoned house on that street is hiding something, then what exactly happened there? For now, this terrifying mystery remains unsolved. This scary video begins like something completely ordinary. A young man casually showing off his football skills while a friend records him. At first, nothing feels unusual. No tension, no warning, just a normal moment between friends. But if you pay close attention, there is something deeply unsettling hidden in the background. Something that appears so briefly, it would be easy to miss. Watch carefully. Did you see it? Look again. As the young man kicks the ball, the camera briefly swings toward a nearby bridge, and for just a second, something terrifying comes into view. A figure. One that looks like a ghostly woman, standing there in a way that feels completely unnatural. She appears for only a moment, but when the camera returns to that same spot just seconds later, she is gone. No downtime, no obvious place for anyone to hide. Viewers were quick to point out how unnaturally still the figure looked and how impossibly fast it seemed to vanish. Whether this was a real ghost caught on camera or just a disturbing coincidence is impossible to say for sure. But what do you think this frightening footage really captured? This scary video was filmed at Pidhurtska Castle, a historic place feared not only for its striking old architecture, but for the chilling paranormal legends that have clung to it for decades. Built back in the 17th century, the castle has long been tied to reports of haunting activity. Visitors and locals have described unexplained footsteps echoing through the halls, sudden freezing cold spots, and terrifying sightings of a ghostly woman dressed completely in white. According to local legend, that presence may be tied to tragic events buried deep in the castle's past, as if some dark part of its history never truly left. In this footage, a man and his friends decide to explore the castle for themselves, hoping to uncover something real. But as they move through the building, they begin to feel something deeply unsettling, the constant sense that someone is moving through the rooms with them. And instead of brushing it off, they decide to test that fear. Once outside, they set up their camera to capture a clear view of the castle's windows, and what they record is hard to ignore.
Турецкий замок. Дивіться, яка краса. Супер. Такої з архітектури нема. Ух, ніфіга собі. Андріана!
Andriana.
In the footage, a white figure can be seen moving past one of the castle windows. It is brief, but disturbing enough to leave a lasting impression. After the video was shared online, other people who had visited the castle began coming forward with their own creepy experiences. Stories of seeing similar ghostly figures, hearing strange, unexplained noises, and feeling an overwhelming paranormal presence while inside. So if you have ever visited this haunted place, let me know what you experienced in the comments. In this scary video, a man decides to finally document the terrifying paranormal activity that seems to follow him whenever he stays late at work alone. And what makes it even more unsettling is the pattern behind it. According to him, nothing ever happens during the day. Not when the office is busy. Not when people are talking. Not when noise fills the building and every room feels alive. It only begins after everyone leaves, when the office turns silent, empty, and still. On some nights, he hears faint tapping sounds coming from somewhere inside the office. Soft little knocks, like fingers lightly tapping against wood in the dark. And little by little, the feeling grows worse, because it no longer feels like he is alone in that building. It feels like something is standing just out of sight, watching him.
Kalau masuk, nggak usah main-main pintu. Tutup lagi nyamuknya. Ngapain lu? Ya Allah, makin iseng aja lah. Astagfirullahaladzim. Udah dulu yang bagus. Hey. Astagfirullah.
Then, the door slowly begins to creak open on its own, inch by inch, with no one there to touch it. And what happens next is even more disturbing. A face suddenly appears, not far away, not hidden somewhere down the hallway, right there. Moments like this are what make haunting footage so terrifying, because they suggest that whatever is causing the activity is not some distant presence drifting through the building. It is inside the room, moving through his space, close enough to see him, and maybe waiting for him to notice. While checking security camera footage from his workplace, a man named Kyle noticed something strange happening inside the kitchen. One of his employees was simply walking through the room, doing nothing unusual, when suddenly they reacted as if someone had reached out and touched them. The disturbing part, there was no one there.
We had some paranormal activity happen up here the other night, and I think I got something on tape. Let's check this out. Here comes my boy. Something's going to push him on his left shoulder. Whoa. It was quick. You might not have seen it, but he's freaking out over here. He asked my buddy if there's something on him, like an insect or something. No. So I felt like something just pushed me. That's what he told me. So, he's blown away. So we're going to run this back a little bit. There we go. Now let's roll this frame by frame. See him walking. Alright, so coming up here, look over his left shoulder. There's going to be an orb. A cloud, so to speak, right here. Okay? Over his shoulder. Now, I'm going to go to the next frame, and you can see that there's something over his shoulder. Next frame, it's gone. Frame after, he's looking back for it. What the hell was that? So now, just for fun, since I've showed you the breakdown, we're going to go back and we're going to watch it in fast motion one more time. And let's look. Let's see if we can find it. Here it comes. Orb. Oh man, crazy.
As the employee casually walks through the kitchen, he suddenly looks back, as if he physically felt something brush against his shoulder. But just moments before he reacts, the camera appears to capture something even more unsettling, a faint white mist-like anomaly forming directly over his shoulder. It lingers there for only a second, and then vanishes. And the exact instant it disappears, he turns around, clearly expecting to find someone standing right behind him. But no one is there. No co-worker, no shadow, no one close enough to have touched him at all. So what exactly did he feel in that moment? And more importantly, what or who reached out to touch him? This creepy video comes from a woman who collects haunted dolls, and what she captures here is enough to make even long-time paranormal viewers deeply uncomfortable. At first, it feels impossible. The kind of moment that makes you instantly stop, rewind, and watch again. Because whatever happens here should not be happening at all. So watch this carefully. At first, most people will jump to the usual explanations: faulty wiring, hidden batteries, some kind of internal mechanism. But the moment you look closer and realize there are no batteries inside, the entire thing starts to feel far more disturbing. Many collectors who deal with haunted objects believe certain items can become vessels for paranormal energy, and dolls are often seen as some of the most terrifying of all. Because unlike ordinary objects, they have faces, eyes, human-like features. The kind of form that, according to supernatural belief, could make it easier for something unseen to attach itself, to watch, and even respond. Some collectors claim their dolls changed position, made sounds on their own, or appeared in places where they were never left. And that is exactly why so many people find them so terrifying. There is something deeply wrong about an object that looks human, but clearly is not alive. Something that can sit motionless for years and then suddenly move when no one is anywhere near it. It creates the awful feeling that it is no longer just an object, but something aware, something present in the room. And moments like this only make that fear stronger, because if there really were no batteries inside, then what exactly made it move? For now, this creepy mystery remains completely unsolved. This creepy video was caught on a family security camera, while the wife was casually filming, completely unaware that something disturbing was happening just behind her. This is the same family we talked about before, the one whose paranormal nightmare seemed to begin after they used a Ouija board as a joke, never believing anything real would follow them home. But ever since that night, the atmosphere inside the house has felt wrong. Doors slam on their own, crosses hanging on the walls shift for no clear reason, and the frightening activity has not slowed down. If anything, it has only gotten worse. Then one night, while she is recording, something happens that makes the haunting feel even more real.
So Maura just fell asleep in her little walker thing, her little jumper. And she looks so peaceful. I don't even want to move her, but it's bedtime, so I'm gonna have to get her out of there so I can put her in her crib. But look how cute she looks, guys. She looks snuggle with her little blanket. What the? Was that? Dude, what the guys, what the is that? Dude, one more thing moves and I'm out. What the?
If you watch the TV stand closely, the first strange detail appears almost immediately. The slippers shift slightly. And then, only seconds later, the remote suddenly falls to the floor. No one touches it. No one is anywhere near it. And then comes the most unsettling part of all. A growling sound. Low, unnatural, and completely out of place. Like something unseen is right there in the room, close enough to hear, but not close enough to see. For her, this terrifying moment seems to confirm the fear she has been trying to push away, that whatever entered their home may not be a harmless spirit at all. Her husband still wants to believe it could be some restless ghost simply trying to get attention, but she is no longer so sure. Because paranormal activity like this often follows a pattern, and whatever made that sound did not feel passive. What makes the situation even more disturbing is what they were later told after asking for help. If this is truly an attachment, then leaving the house may not end it, because whatever is haunting them may not be connected to the house at all. It may be connected to them. And now they are trapped with a terrifying choice: try to cleanse the house, run from it, or face the possibility that this is something they may never escape. So what would you do? Nate, a man whose life has grown more disturbing with each passing day, ever since he unknowingly brought something home from the cemetery where he works. At first, it did not seem serious. Just small things, easy to dismiss, easy to explain away. But over the past few weeks, that presence has turned his house into a place where he no longer feels safe. Nate began noticing that sharp objects, especially knives, would mysteriously go missing. Then later, they would turn up in places where he knows he never left them. And worse, they did not look dropped. They looked placed, almost as if something inside that house was carefully positioning them, one by one. Then one morning, he finally captures one of those terrifying moments on camera.
Alright guys, so I was just upstairs changing and I heard a loud ass crash down here. The dog ran down. She was in the kitchen getting water and she booked into here from the kitchen, so guessing it. I just felt a breath on me. So I'm guessing it came from the kitchen. I don't see anything. Back door's locked. Let's see. No. 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 What is that? What is that in? Oh, that's stock in there. Holy sh... That door's locked.
What makes this paranormal footage even more unsettling is what happens when Nate tries to get closer. If you listen carefully, there seems to be a whisper. Some viewers believe they can hear the words, "I'm gonna get you." Others are not completely sure, but either way, whatever is heard does not sound friendly. After that, the fear surrounding his situation only grows. A lot of people begin telling him to try a different approach, something often suggested in hauntings like this, the ignoring method. He is advised to give whatever is inside the house as little attention as possible, hoping it will weaken, lose interest, or stop feeding off his reaction. So Nate gives it a try. But later, while explaining how that strategy has been going, something happens again.
So, I have been doing my best. I have been taking a conscious effort to ignore things when they start happening around the house. I will admit it's hard when they're happening like right in front of me, 5 feet away from me. I do take a second to just try to catch myself before I react. I have been working with not trying to engage with it, not talking to whatever it is. When things happen, I have, like I said, been taking a conscious effort to avoid it and just ignore it. Like some of you know, I have twins coming in September. So my main goal is to clear whatever energy or whatever it is in the house. I want it, doing my best to clear it out because I want to bring my twins home into a safe, loving environment where they don't have to worry about stuff like that. So any suggestions on what I can do to rid my house of this activity would be greatly appreciated. So if we can how do you ignore that? How do you ignore that?
Another knife. This time, it is standing upright, stuck directly into the middle of the floor, in a way that feels impossible to explain normally. And if that was not disturbing enough, there is something else in the footage. A glowing light orb moving across the floor, almost as if it is circling that exact same spot, like it is connected to whatever is happening there. And that raises a deeply unsettling possibility. Whatever is inside Nate's house may not just be moving objects, it may be revealing itself in pieces. Because if something can manipulate knives like that, if it can whisper, then this may be an intelligent haunting, something aware, something reactive, and something capable of becoming much more dangerous. And that leaves behind one terrifying question. When you are dealing with something you cannot see and cannot fully understand, is confronting it really a good idea? You decide. This creepy video was recorded by a mother who had started feeling something she could not explain. A sudden, crushing wave of anxiety hitting her out of nowhere while she was home alone with her baby. At first, there was no sound, no movement, nothing obvious at all. Just that heavy, instinctive feeling that something was wrong. On this particular day, it was only her and her son in the house. They were sitting together peacefully, watching a movie, and for a moment, everything felt completely normal. Until one small detail caught her attention. The bathroom door. The last time she had noticed it, it had only been slightly open. Now, it was standing wide open. That quiet little change was enough to send a chill through her, and instead of ignoring it, she grabbed her phone and started recording. Watch closely.
The door is moving by itself. Please go away. Please go away. You're not wanted. Go away. Whatever you are, go away. Oh my god. I am so scared right now. Please go away. We can't be spooky. Spooky? Psst, 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 psst. Spook? Moo?
At first, nothing unusual seems to stand out. Everything looks still, ordinary. But later, when she reviews the footage, she notices something deeply disturbing that she completely missed in the moment. Right near the bathroom entrance, a dark, shadow-like figure appears for just a brief second, moving so quickly that it is easy to miss unless you are really paying attention. And that is exactly what makes it so unnerving. Some believe this could be a shadow entity, the kind of paranormal presence often described as appearing in quick, fleeting movements, especially when someone already feels that intense sense of dread. But whether this was truly a ghostly figure caught on camera or something else entirely, I'll leave that to you.